Yo, already up to one viewer. What's up, everybody? It's the Stick and Nude podcast. Just kidding. Kind of ripped my fleece a bit. What's up, guys? StickInRink podcast, episode 31. Episode 31, hockey teams in the league. We are back again. The fellas are back. Before we get started, I got a message from our trusty friends at DraftKings. That's damn right I got a message from them. Our friends at DraftKings, the number one fantasy sports book in the entire world. That's the entire world, planet Earth, if you're wondering. The only website where you can get free shots at millions of dollars in total prizes. There's tons of different sports. Obviously, I've went over them plenty of times before. My new favorite one is golf. We got golf season coming up, Josh. I know you're a big golfer. We got Masters talk coming. We got all the majors coming up pretty soon. And there's some golfers out there poised to make a big run this year. So if you're out there and you've got the keen eye for the guy who's going to win the prize and he's going to putt for dough, then you should go place him in your team to make some dough. Funny enough, this came out today. I saw a quote from John Rahm. This is a big John Rahm shout out during my DraftKings ad read. He made a point to say, guys, if anyone's considering betting on me for the Masters, just don't, because I'm expecting a child and I might just leave randomly. So if you're thinking about doing DraftKings on the Masters, don't put John Rahm in your team, even though he's a studly golfer. But other than that, guys, please download the DraftKings app now. And if you're going to use promo code THPN at sign up, that helps us out. That keeps this show going. That pays for Josh's extra large condoms and any other essential needs that he'll need after COVID. But let's get to the guys now. Fellas, how you doing? Raph, my friend.
I'm doing good. This is probably the most anxious I've been for an episode because I've had a lot of coffee before we started watching this, just like stay awake and so I don't fucking burn out halfway through this episode. But like, holy crap. Like, I don't know what it is, dude.
Yeah.
Like I got jitters at 11:30 PM. We've been doing this for like however many episodes now.
Yeah, I know that feeling where like you have, how many did you have today?
About 4.
Yeah, dude, that's like what a 40-year-old should be doing. You're pushing it a bit there.
We're good.
That's rough.
Especially for somebody who doesn't really drink a whole lot of coffee. Like I've just been exhausted today, so we're just going.
Yeah, my over-under is constantly at 2. If I go over that, same thing, jitters, anxiety, mental health, all that stuff.
Yeah, it just gets bad.
It's fucked. It totally is. But the best thing about this is this show relaxes you. Being with us most of the time relaxes you.
I'd say it relaxes me about a solid 6 out of 10 times. The other 4 times I get really fired up.
Yeah. Which is therapeutic in some cultures, so don't worry.
Sure.
About it. Let's throw it over Josh, the boyhood hero. Josh, how you doing, man? Your nipples look good.
What is going on, boys? Boys, I'm stressed, man. Work is just, it's hit an all-time high of busyness right now. Yeah, and you know what, fellas? Like, you guys know me. Like, I'm a pretty, like, I don't want to say carefree because, like, I care about a lot of things. But, like, have I ever been, like, super, like, stressed because of my job? Like, this would probably be, like, the most stressed I've ever been. And I got to ask you guys, like, what do you guys do? Because, like, okay, here's a couple things, all right? People that say working out alleviates stress, like, dude, I did a workout yesterday and I'm going to do one tonight, and I guarantee it's not going to do shit for me.
It helps out. It fills your body with natural endorphins. Isn't that what it is?
I don't know. But all I know is, like, when I'm working out, I'm still thinking about the shit that I need to get done. Okay. So that's number 1. 2, I'm not really a big drinker, so that doesn't really help.
Damn it, you can't resort to yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I was going to say, damn it, you can't resort to alcohol to alleviate your stress. That sucks.
Josh, just get really stoned and go to bed.
Yeah, but dude, I don't do that. I've never done drugs in my life.
Josh, go for a relaxing walk outside.
In the pitch black, dude, I don't want to get stabbed.
Bring a flashlight.
That'll stress me out even more.
On the topic of the workout, like to help with stress, I'm pretty sure that means like cardio is the best thing for that. Like to have yourself out of breath, that's what helps with stress. Like lifting weights, I don't know if that does really as much. Okay. I think it's like going for a run kind of fucks with you.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, well maybe I'll do that then.
We just have to find you a hobby that you could do at any hour of the day. Because what, like golfing relaxes you, but you can't really go golfing at like 2 a.m.
Masturbate. That's a hobby.
Just a little J&D, just jerking dick.
5-on-1.
Boys, Why the
What?
fuck is that thing still in Raffles' fucking corner, man? Does this thing ever fucking leave, or is just tick it a little bit, Raph?
No, I'm not gonna touch it.
That's the perfect meme. That's like the recreation of the like what he sees versus what she sees meme. That's exactly what it is.
But no, you know what though? Honestly, I've said this before. Like one thing that I do find stress relieving, like Raph said, is being on the podcast, talking sports, making memories, and just joking around. That's what I need today, boys. That's what I need. How you doing, pal?
I'm doing good, boys. I'm doing good. I had the house to myself today. The girlfriend was out at the fam's house, and so actually my day didn't really go as planned. I went and hung out with a friend, and our plan was to go play disc golf because I just got some like beginner disc golf sets, and I was actually pumped to use it because I was like, anytime you try a new sport, it's like trying a new food for the first time. You're just kind of fucking excited to do it.
Yeah.
And so I like found a park where it said they had disc golf. I even phoned fucking Surrey Parks to make sure they were open. Should have asked if they had disc golf because we showed up, walked around for 30 minutes, no disc golf there. So I fucking left a 1-star review on that public park on Google Maps. I said no disc golf here. Lit them up.
Real quick, for somebody who doesn't understand the relevance of disc golf, Elijah has been raving about disc golf for I would say probably about like 3 weeks now.
Yeah, trying to get
3 weeks to a month.
I've been trying to get the boys on board. That's what I've been doing. Because
what has spurred this obsession with disc golf? Yeah.
You guys know I'm a very malleable person. You see somebody
throw a frisbee and you're just like, I want to play disc golf.
No, I'm a very malleable person. I'm very easily influenced. And so I listened to an episode of Part of My Take, a little podcast, and they brought on a disc golfer and he like explained a lot about the sport, not like the rules of it, but just like where it is, why it's popular, and like the fun parts that can be had while doing it. And basically like, it's like fucking golf, but it's free, dude. So I'm not hating on golf, but it's also like a nice little addition, where I don't have to go and play $90 just to play by myself.
So follow-up question, if they start charging you to play disc golf, will you still keep playing disc golf?
Very little amounts. And actually kind of scary, but the thing that the guy told me when I showed up to pick up the sets today, I was like, oh man, the sport's really blowing up in the last year. He's like, yeah, dude, it's total like, and we got into, I was like, yeah, it's just so affordable. And he's like, that's what people say. And then like, what people don't understand is it actually gets pretty expensive once you want to buy their discs. And I was like, fuck, dude, like that's not what I'm here. Damn.
Tell me that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Raph, you're going to agree with me on this one.
Hopefully.
Probably. And it's always me and Raph against Elijah. Disc golf is not a sport, so we can just check that one out right away.
It's a leisurely activity.
So is golf a sport?
No, everyone calls it a game.
Okay, well then that's fine. Specific definitions aside, it's the same as golf. Whatever you want to call golf, it's the same as golf. What? Yeah, the top disc golfer in the world just signed a 10-year, $10 million contract. So you want to suck on those nuts, or you want to keep?
Yeah, but what's the deal of the top? What's the deal that the top golfer in the world just signed?
Don't worry about it, dude. Different stages.
Ask Tiger Woods.
Dude, the only thing he's signing is his fucking cash these days, dude. Come on. That was a little bit of a low blow. I do love Tiger. No one clip that.
Dude, not a big deal.
But salary.
You win like fucking $8 million if you win the Masters. So, like,
more importantly, you win an invite back every time. That's what
since 1996. Tiger Woods has been with Nike, where he signed a huge $40 million deal over 5 years, which was renewed for a reported $100 million over a further 5 years.
It's pretty average, dude. That's average in the world of golf. Endorsements, whatever.
Your disc golfer can go fuck off with this $10 million over 10 years.
You want to know what a good comparison is? Go find out what the average golfer made after, like, whenever golf was invented. You're allowed to go 10 years after that. See how much they made. They made nothing.
Wait, hang on. After golf was invented?
Yeah.
Well, no shit, Elijah. You're going into the fucking early 1800s.
Exactly. And so disc golf just got started, and we got guys making 10 milli, dude.
The only reason for that, though, is inflation.
Okay, we don't need to get into the specifics of it. You guys are hating on disc golf. I'll get you out, and you'll play disc golf, okay? Just relax.
There's no chance you get me to throw one of those fucking discs.
a lot, or
I'll
Raph,
easily get you guys to throw those discs.
Raph, what's a
Josh.
higher probability? You playing hockey with the boys, or you playing fucking disc golf on a Sunday?
Hockey for sure.
Dude,
and
we
the odds of that are still very low.
Yo,
We all know that when it comes to getting Ralph to play sports, it's going to be exactly like when people do grad kidnapping and like they just literally come in and take their friend and do whatever they want. Like
Shut
that's
the
what
fuck
we're
up.
doing with Ralph.
Talking about me not doing sports, for me, it's the equivalent of that. For me, is like when I'm like, "Hey, Elijah, do you want to go to the mountain? You want to go skiing with me?" And you're like, "No, actually, I think I gotta go disc golf or something."
Yeah.
True.
There's a higher chance of Josh going skiing with me on the mountain than there is with Elijah, and Josh fucking skis once in a year.
Yeah, true.
Maybe.
See, our boy chiming in the comments, Shane, once again, Mr. Reliable. He says he likes disc golf more than golf. I can't get on board with that, Shane. I can get on board with it being close. I also haven't played yet, so like it's really hard for me to get on board with that.
Do you think? Wait, Josh, you go.
Elijah, I was gonna say, I'm like, with that comment from Shane, you're skating on thin ice there, buddy. I would tread very carefully before you say you like disc golf more than actual golf.
Yeah, don't worry, dude. I think your score of 113 is already cracking the ice, so I might just stay off altogether.
Elijah, would you say that you're a pretty impatient person?
No, not historically. No.
What do you think? Do you think you have more patience for disc golf or for regular golf?
Probably disc golf.
Is it because you know you're going to be bad going into it?
I know there's something to do with brain chemistry that when I pay like $65 and I'm using my like $1,200 golf bag to fucking suck at a sport.
Yeah.
It's like it plays some sort of other mind games with me that I can't even understand.
But think about it this way: like, what if you throw like a few discs, you realize you're absolute shit at it, and then you just throw out the disc golfs?
Yeah, that's a problem.
Or the discs.
Okay, well,
yeah.
Okay, well, here's my question then. Like, Elijah, scale of 1 to 10, without you practicing, how good are you at actually genuinely throwing a frisbee?
I think you think you're much better at throwing a frisbee than you think you are.
If 10 is like if 10 is like a fucking ultimate player that can throw it across the field, I'm probably like a 5.
So
and if I think you're worse.
Dirt trash. If we're just talking like average, I can throw. I'm above average at throwing a frisbee.
So
I don't think you can throw a frisbee in a straight line though.
Easily.
I think you're just going to be throwing frisbees and they're going to be fucking fading off to the side every single time.
I don't like how much you doubt my abilities. So if you ever want to doubt my ability,
I played catch with you with a frisbee before.
So if you want to doubt my frisbee playing ability, I'll put $100 in a set of keys as a bet that I could throw a frisbee 40 yards in a straight line.
No chance, Elijah. You and me playing catch with a frisbee at 20 yards is like me running the beep test. I'm running back and forth trying to catch this goddamn thing.
No, easily. Next time you're out on a field, I have a frisbee in my car at all times. This is going on Instagram stories. That's going to be proven.
Okay.
All right. I like it.
What the fuck else is going on, boys? Let's talk Netflix real quick, Josh. Did you finish your Formula One doc?
Oh, dude, it's not a documentary.
Drive to Survive.
Drive to Survive, baby.
Drive to Survive. Fuck.
I watched it in under 3 days. It is, boys, like, it is unreal. Elijah, like, you need to watch it, man. Like, I genuinely believe that you will like it. Raph, I already know that you're not really, I find, like, a Netflix guy anyway. Like, you're just like a game, and that's fine. But like, if you can find the time to actually watch Drive to Survive, I guarantee you will like it. It's the #1 show on Netflix right now, boys.
I don't disagree with you. I think I will like it a lot. My dad loves it and he watches it all the time, but it's just like like you said, I can't watch TV.
So yeah, and that's fair. But to paint the picture for you guys, so I have F1 2017 on my Xbox. I love playing it. I think it's a sick game. But I didn't really know like the ins and outs of the sport. So then when I watched Drive to Survive, I became like a super fan. Like, I know everything about every team. I know who owns the team. I know where drivers are going. Like, I read the articles. Like, it's a hectic, dramatic show. And like, the one thing I will say is like, it's all based on money and just like it's politics. And it's just like, it's just such a rich sport. And that's what I really like about it as well. Like, it's you're only as good as your last race, which is
that.
Is F1 racing a sport or a game?
Sport.
What differentiates it from golf?
The strain on your body. Like, dude, like you'll like guys will lose like 8 pounds of water weight in a race.
Okay, I'm just playing devil's advocate here, but like, what about the strain on your body when you're golfing? Because like they're both like we could both agree that they're precision sports.
They are precision sports, but I think like your reflexes need to be like it's like life or death with F1. Whereas golf, it's like, okay, you shank a ball, you shank a ball.
Yeah.
You don't hit the apex, you hit the wall, and you ruin a $1.2 million car and you possibly die. So
yeah,
like I would say like F1 is a way more precise sport. Like they almost have like a fighter pilot mentality, I would say.
What would be the F1 equivalent of a hole-in-one?
I would say an F1 equivalent would essentially be you having the fastest lap time in practices 1 and 2, leading your times in all of qualifying, leading the race of every single lap and winning the race, which has only been done, I think, 8 or 9 times in history.
From fucking pole to pole, hey? You like that?
Interesting.
Wow. So this is how much I trust you, Josh. I'm not an F1 guy. And when you told me to watch Drive to Survive, I will admit I didn't even flinch. And then I did see on Netflix that it said like number 2 or number 3, and it's probably number 1 now. And that makes me want to watch it. So I love you as a person, but when it comes to recommendations, this might just be for everyone. I'm just way more easily influenced by the number on the Netflix screen.
Yeah. And
that's like everything.
And I mean, the thing is like, I can see Raffles' point. I mean, like, to be fair, like F1, like, what is it? You know, it's guys going fast in the car that drive round and round in circles. Yeah, 100%. I mean, you can dumb it down to that level, but I mean, you could also say that for any sport. You know, like football, it's like there's a grace to it. There's something amazing about it. Same with hockey or golf. But at the end of the day, it's throwing a ball to another dude, or you're hitting the ball with a stick. You know, like you can take the fun out of any sport that you want, but like if you don't appreciate the skill, you're not going to like it.
True.
It's not. So anyway, if anyone hasn't watched it and you are looking to look for a new show, try that one, because it's obviously all true story. So nonfiction, which is a big thing for me. And the first race of this upcoming season is this Sunday. And guess who's going to be up at 4 a.m. to watch it on Sunday? This fucking guy. So, and I'm fucking pumped.
We might have to get you set up to do like a live stream watch party of your F1 race, like in your fucking if you're in underwear. That'd be so sexy.
100%. I always pick up. I get a couple breakfast burritos from McDonald's. That's the only place that's open. And I go and I sit on the couch and I watch F1 and I go back to sleep for 2 hours and I wake up and start my day. So I'm fucking pumped.
So we got a question from the comments, from the Twitch comments. Who's better at go-karting? And then we weren't answering quick enough, so we decided to describe all of us and it said, funny looking kid in the pink shirt, rock band fangirl, or Sir Shags the Lot, top left corner. Thank you for noticing how much punani I dabble in with my hair right now. That's clearly what that's judged from.
Best go-karter?
I think I'm thinking that Josh probably thinks he's good at go-karting.
I'm not, because I went to speeders with a couple of buddies. I went with the guy who actually and I also went.
Do you remember your lap time at speeders?
I forget. I can't remember. All I know is that I came in last.
Oh shit!
Up to 3, but so it's not me. I don't think.
The only thing I don't like about go-karts is they're safe. Like I think part of the go-karting that needs to be explored is taking the safety out of it, because that's really what makes like a good driver is can they balance safety and aggression. Right?
When you try taking the inside edge on someone who doesn't see you coming up their fucking rear, then you're just getting sent right to the tires. It sucks, and you just stop immediately.
Well, the one thing I will say, and I think this is why Elijah may or may not be first, is because, dude, the average height for F1 drivers are like 5'6", 5'7". They're not big dudes. Like if you're 6 feet in that sport, you are tall and you are big. So Raph would just naturally go faster because he's just lighter than us.
This is probably no direct relation to this. And what?
And you're Polish. You're European, dude. You're meant to drive cars. Like you have European blood. You drive BMWs, you drive Volkswagens, you drive all those exotic European vehicles, you were meant to go fast. You were meant for the fast life, Raph.
Okay, thank you. I was gonna say thank you. This doesn't happen very often. I was gonna say the one reason why I didn't think Elijah would win, like in any regard, is because I've seen Elijah try and drive a car in a video game, and it's like he just doesn't understand how turning works. Like Josh, you and I at least understand cornering.
Yeah,
and how to like maintain speed and not peel out on every single corner. But I feel like Elijah doesn't get that.
Yeah,
especially with slicks.
Yeah,
if you take a corner a little too sharp on slicks, you're spinning. You're power sliding.
Yes. That's the only reason that I brought up like the safety thing is because I think it's very easy when the go-kart just tells you like, hey, just push gas all the way to the ground and I'll stop you when you're going too fast. But if there was like, I feel like out of all of us, if the safety wasn't in there, I feel like I would be the one who's able to toe the line between safety and aggression the most.
Yeah, but fully flooring it the entire lap won't give you the best time. No,
it doesn't work. But like, no, but I know, but it makes it easy in the straightaways.
I think it's speeders you can hit a really good lap time without slowing down, without braking. You just have to manage your throttle.
My closest thing to racing, and it was actually like scary as fuck, was when I went to Vegas and I drove a Ferrari 458 around a track. And that was fucking terrifying. But it was so much fun at the same time. But like you have to be, and like you have an instructor with you, but like he's like, okay, like you're on a straight and he's like, go faster. And you're like, dude, like I'm going like 180 down the straight. Like he's like, step on it, and you step and like this car just goes. And like you're in the seat. And dude, like you look at like an F1 car and you're like, dude, like they would smoke you.
Yeah.
Like if you tell, you know what I mean? Like it's fucked. And yeah, I don't know. I just like, I think if I were to gauge this, I think it would be Raph, me, and then E.
I would agree.
But it would be tight between me and Elijah. I think I could still come last.
We might have to do. There seems to be a lot of debate on who can do what on this podcast, and I'm just a man who solves problems around here. We might have to do. Once upon a time, I did do an Olympics contest with someone, and the results are still waiting for that. But we could do a podcast Olympics one day. And really
I have videos of you losing every single Olympic sport.
I don't know who you are or what you're talking about. Why don't we move on?
Real quick, if we do this racing, we could do speeders as Toonie Tuesdays.
I'm easily
or Family Tuesdays or something like that.
You're on, bitches.
Yeah. It's 3 races, I think, and then it takes your average lap time across the 3 races to decide who the winner is.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm always down. Okay, let's move on, guys. Let's talk a little hockey here. Let's lead in not with the Canucks this time. Let's lead in with Mr. fucking hot mic situation with the referee today. So I'm pretty sure that this is like all the headlines right now, currently in the hockey world as the night goes on, and it's really quite like not a good look for the NHL right now. So you got a video of a ref during the Nashville-Detroit game, who you can hear him on the hot mic as the game is going to commercial, and he says something along the lines of, I wanted to give Nashville a fucking penalty, or like I was wanting to give them a penalty. It sounds like he was talking about a makeup call, and so here you are on a fucking live game. You got an official admitting that he was planning on intentionally giving a team a call. That's a tough look for the sport right there. And it kind of brought up the conversation of like what needs to happen there. Should we get rid of ref hot mics or something like that? I don't really know what's going to come of this, to be honest.
I wouldn't be surprised if he loses his job.
Really?
Yeah. Well, it's just how the world is nowadays. I feel like, again, like people are very sensitive. So I think when somebody finds out about something like that, then you're fucking gone.
Yeah. Interesting. Josh, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, with this, like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm indifferent about this type of thing. I mean, you like, to me, it just makes like the refs look bad, right? And
100%.
And all this does is this just adds to the fire that, referees are corrupt, or like the sport's corrupt and all this bullshit. Do I think that this guy is ever going to be officiating a playoff game? No chance. This guy will never get that call because you only have the best referees to do that. Do I think that, this stuff kind of happens regularly? Yeah, probably it does. But I mean, we're only talking about this because this guy got caught, so
Yeah.
You know, it's not an issue until you get caught doing it, and then people are all up in arms. But I mean, let's fucking pump the brakes here, boys. I mean, holy shit. It's a game between, who was it, Nashville and Jersey?
Nashville and Detroit.
Nashville, okay. Like, who gives a shit? It's Nashville and Detroit. No, seriously. Like,
but like,
it again, I know it's the precedent, it's the principle of the whole situation. I get that. But, you know, I don't know, maybe like, and people will always be like, they'll always take this stuff from face value. But what I would always say is like, you know, maybe they're trying, like maybe Nashville pissed the refs off. Like maybe they said something to him. Like, I don't know. You know, like there's personal biases that obviously come in to, you know, officials and officiating, you know, like I played I didn't play a high level of ball hockey, but I played at like a decent level of ball hockey. But like there were always refs that like we knew just didn't like that called shit on our team and maybe didn't call it on the other team. Like it just happened. Like you just kind of knew. Now, obviously it's kind of at a low level and it's like these guys aren't like truly like paid professionals, but nonetheless, like that shit kind of happens, you know, like there's stuff that goes on in the sport that just isn't going to get called or that is. And we just have to be accepting of that.
Yeah, I think when you break down this specific situation, I think what this is most likely a ref who was intending to have a makeup call. Because here's an aspect is that when a ref gets a call wrong, if it was because the player dove or embellished or kind of fooled the ref, then there is a bit of embarrassment there. Like I bet you your like team tells you, says like, hey man, like maybe in the locker room in the intermission, he says like, hey man, that guy actually didn't trip there, like fell on his own skates kind of thing. And everyone knows in hockey, especially, there are makeup calls. It's in every sport. There's makeup calls all the time. Yeah. As long as the ref knows about it. And so maybe they don't always openly communicate it when they're on the ice during the fucking game with their mic on. But yeah, I think I definitely think that this happens probably every week in the NHL.
Yeah,
the conversation just doesn't happen on a live mic in the middle of the ice even. And,
I just think that's
where they kind of fucked
up. I
up.
also think it's just kind of funny.
Yeah,
like just the way the guy was talking. I'm like, dude, like you're like this guy sounds like a moron. Like he just not sound like really funny.
We got Shane chiming in on the comments again. There was an NBA game where a guy got double T and kicked out for laughing. And this actually is another point I have is that I see a lot of on Twitter, at least I see a lot of NBA fans and media members kind of saying like, wow, like fucking NHL, like bad luck. What a league. And it's like, dude, the NBA refs are so much worse. Like,
yeah, I
like
know.
The amount of bullshit that happens in that league is insane.
For those Twitter fans that love the NBA that are trying to drag the NHL down to their level, fuck off. Like they're no, like seriously, like you guys are like the NBA is a joke, just like through and through, how it's ran, how the teams operate, the refs, the playoffs, everything, the super teams. Like, don't drag us down with you, because that's not even a comparison. To be
Josh, what would you do to fix the NBA?
I put a salary cap, a hard salary cap. That's what I would do.
You think that solve a lot of the problems?
That would solve everything.
I kind of revert from shit talking the NBA because their league makes so much more money than the NHL.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's reasons for it. I think the NHL is actually on a good path on that stuff. So I don't.
But you also have to remember, like hockey was like the NBA is big around the world because of Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
So
and star players.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the exact reason it is.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, let's move on to some Canucks talk here. So, little bit of a hiccup here on the playoff train, boys. We had a little bit of emergency stop here. I think the what's the one that drives the train is a conductor.
The conductor.
Conductor had to take an emergency shit, so he just pulled over on the track. He just stopped, even though his bathroom's probably clogged. Need to take a big shit, and we're in trouble, boys. 4-0 loss to the Jets. We've got one more game against the Jets before we go into a week-long hiatus, a little hibernation. And we fucking need the 2 points because positivity only has so much merit to stand on at this point.
I think we also need that hibernation, honestly.
True.
Need some time to recharge.
But you know what's fucked about this whole thing is So we're gonna do this whole 1 week break here from the 24th to the 31st, but it looks like fucking Montreal's gonna be doing the same thing. So we're not gonna like. Are they even gonna catch up in the games played ever? I don't know if they will.
I don't know. Do we have another break like this coming up in the next couple months?
No, so every team had 1 week built into their schedule that was a bye week, and it was there for like a COVID contingency, just in case you had to stop playing for a couple of weeks. They would use that. But
Okay, so I guess Montreal's just going to be playing a higher frequency of games.
I guess they're going to.
That's the only thing, right?
Pedal to the metal at the end here because
Yeah,
they're
they're gonna be
already a
grinding
little
out.
bit behind. That's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah. I mean, fuck, man. Like the Canucks, like they're getting hit with the injury bug. It's not easy.
All right, was it all of our centers are out right now?
Yeah, the 4 starting centers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Horvat, Pedersen, Beagle, and Sutter all on the
That sucks.
injured list.
dude, like as soon as you made like the conductor train reference, I know you guys hate this movie, but you guys know you guys know the Polar Express.
The Polar Express.
You
Of
know,
course I do.
like when Tom Hanks is on the roof and he's trying to guide the train on the ice, and he's like left, right, and like it's just fishtailing, and they're just trying to get the train fucking right on the tracks. Like that's what I think of when I think of this team. It's just like Travis Green is just pulling every move he can to just keep this team fucking aligned and just like try to keep it straight ahead. And it's not easy, man, but you know what? This might actually be like the final peg in the season. Like this might be it. Like this genuinely might be it. And that's fine. Like, I mean, we had a nice run. I think we saw a lot of good things from Demko and everything like that, which is really nice to see. But you know what? Take this offseason, learn from it, get rid of those contracts and go on next year, because it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to actually like right the ship right now when you lose your 4 starting centers and we're top 10, if not top 7 or 6 in the league in faceoff percentage. Like that just eliminates half of our possession, if not a quarter.
That's a tough road to take there.
That's tough for sure.
Overall, honestly, the way the Canucks are positioned right now, I mean, what the fucking analytics people will tell you is that they need to hit probably 65 points to make the playoffs in the end of it. So the way that that's shaping up right now, currently, it's going to be we're going to have to go about 14-5-0 at this point. Got to go 14-5-0, so pretty much win at like a 7,500 clip. Not impossible is what the part I have to put there. Not impossible, because
if we played how we did the past few weeks, it's doable.
Exactly. We just went 8-3-0.
Yeah.
So, and before the last game, it was 8-2-0. So if you have another 11 games like you just did for those math people at home, that's 16-6-0.
Yeah.
I think, right? Yeah. 16-6-0, which hits our goal.
What you're saying is the Canucks need to get hot.
What I'm saying is I don't see no fucking fat lady singing. And until I hear that on the streets, it's a go, boys.
All right.
The train keeps rolling. The train don't stop for no one.
The bus don't stop for no one.
As well as the train. I think anyone that's accidentally got their car stuck on a train track before will also tell you the train don't stop for no one.
That's kind of a fucked up reference, don't you think?
I don't think anyone ever lived to tell that tale, to be honest.
Totally topical. Well, I think anyone that did live to tell it probably got out of the vehicle unharmed, except they lost their vehicle. So I'm really okay with the reference. I think it's very topical.
I love that.
Where should we move next year, boys? Josh, you want to talk about the little draft lottery with the announcement today? What happened?
Yes. So it got approved by the NHL Board of Governors for the lottery, which is something that I find has always been a big topic for, I would say, like the last 7 or 8 years in the NHL, let alone, like you even think about the Oilers as well. Like they're at the centerfold of all this, and they're probably laughing their asses off as soon as they change it. They've got the best player in the world since Sidney Crosby. So 3 things are going to change. I'm going to read this out word for word from what was posted on Sportsnet. So point number 1, teams would be limited to no more than 2 number 1 picks in a 5-year period. Teams would only be allowed to jump 10 spots with a lottery win. And then the last one is there would be a reduction in the number of picks decided by the lottery from 3 to 2. So the last one, the last one I don't really get. Now, does that mean like they'll always decide the number 3 pick before they go to 1 and 2? Is that what that means? So like, you know, like when the little like fucking ping pong balls are in the thing, like they normally like okay, like they'll leave 3 left in like the thing, and they'll be like, okay, this is the winner of number 1. Then they'll go to like 2 and 3. I think they're narrowing that down to 2. So they'll go picks 10 through 3 instead of 10 through 4. And then they'll announce like it'll be like a 50-50 split at that point.
You see, I'm glad someone knew what was going on, because I've tried to like work this out in my brain on how it works, and I just don't get it. Like my brain CPU is fucking overloaded. I need a fan. I'm sweating because I can't figure out what the fuck that statement means when you go down from 3 to 2.
Yeah.
But I also haven't tried that hard.
So, I mean, Elijah, like, what are your initial thoughts? Like, I know you don't fully understand the third point, but what do you think in terms of like the first 2?
The thing is, I get the significance of what it does for teams that are impacted by this. Like, I think it addresses this idea that teams. Well, it does not address the idea that teams are tanking, but it's all kind of started because of that idea spurred on by the Penguins, spurred on by the Oilers, all that kind of stuff of whether or not teams tank to ensure they get the better pick. Now, these rule changes don't really impact that. They actually make it more beneficial to tank. But on this side, well, yeah, because if what it's saying is the amount of picks decided by the lottery is only 2 instead of 3. And so you have a higher percentage of chance of your pick not being affected. So
yeah, but I think
you know what I
at
mean?
the same time, like what it does is it also like instead of like having the top 15 teams that have a chance to win, it narrows it down to 10.
Yeah.
Because like I'm pretty sure any team that's within like the 15 bottom 15 of the league, they still have a percentage stack. Like they'll actually get their team name in the draw. Like they'll actually be entered to win, and that's been eliminated, which I don't mind. Now, I think for me, I think the biggest point is the first one. Teams would be limited to no more than 2 number 1s in a 5-year period. So, you know, if you're a shit team and, you know, your 2 number 1 picks, like, don't pan out, well, like, that's it, dude. Like, that's it. Like, you can't win the next year. Like, if you're Buffalo or if you're Detroit and you draft number 1 back-to-back years and they suck and they don't perform, and year 3 comes around or year 4, year 5, like you can't get that number 1 pick. Now, obviously, you could still get like a number 2 or a number 3,
but not the number 1.
Yeah, but you'll never get the best prospect in the draft, which I think is huge.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's always true.
And I mean, someone that's always had like a strong opinion about it is Brian Burke. Like he's always said, like this is a ludicrous system. And I think his opinion was a little bit more extreme. It's like if you win the number 1 pick, you cannot get it for another 5 years. So instead of winning it every 2 every 5, you can only win it 1 every 5.
Yeah.
Which I think is important though. Like, I mean, when you look at Edmonton, like, you know, when you look at those players that they drafted, Eberle, Hall, Nuge, Yakupov, McDavid, like, holy shit, like that was a number 1 pick every what? Like 7 years apart? 7 years? Like that's fucking crazy to me. Like that's unacceptable. And it's like, and yet they were still bad. And like they're still not even a favorite to win the cup yet. So it's just like, what a waste of talent. Because, you know, like, you know, a team could have drafted Taylor Hall or another team could have drafted Buffalo. You know, like people always wonder, like, holy shit, what if Buffalo got Connor McDavid? Sorry, Razor. Ebbs wasn't first overall. That was my fault. But what if Connor McDavid went to Buffalo? Where would the Sabres be at right now?
Mm-hmm. Where would the Oilers be with Jack Eichel? I wonder if they'd be where they are. Probably not.
You guys think that would overall just give a more balanced, I guess, league? Or
I don't know. I mean, like,
Like, what would be the benefit of that? Well, I guess I could see the benefit of that overall, but like, what would be the benefit for all the other teams if everybody was just getting?
It's basically just to disparage what happened with the Oilers. Like that,
Okay.
I think that's basically what they're trying to eliminate. And
Yeah.
even that, so that's what the rule about like 2 and 5 or whatever allows you to do. And then that rule where you can only move up 10 spots or whatever, something like that. Like that's in direct relation to what happened last year, right? Where where like the New York Rangers were like the 14th. Remember that they were like
they were ninth, and they got the number 1 pick.
No, remember, because they were the ball that represented all the teams in the wild card, because it was like the NHL ball, and I think it was like the 14th place team or something like that.
Yeah.
So that eliminates that from happening again.
Yeah.
Either way, I kind of want to get to this idea. So when I was writing down this topic for us to talk about, I was thinking draft, I was thinking tank, I was thinking all that stuff, and like I go through Twitter sometimes, and even just being like around Canucks Nation, and you actually see like quite a few number of fans that are team tank in quotations. And I don't fucking understand what that means, Josh or Raph. I don't fucking like what, why are you on team tank? It makes no sense to me. Like, why would you, for me, this is what it boils down to. So you are a fan of a team. Now, if you're not a fan of the way the team is made right now, if your answer to that is what your fix for this is saying, we need to tank to like get to where I want us to be. Well, like, have we not just talked about the Oilers for like 5-10 minutes? Like, they had to tank supposedly for fucking 7 years, and it's like it's not even a sure thing. The only people that have benefited from this result has been the Penguins, and that's because they got the best player in the last 40 years. That's literally the only thing. Mm-hmm. And that's I just have to go off on that because I have no idea. I just, my mind does not understand how you can be a fan of a team but hope that they do so bad they lose. Like I think people like that don't understand what a winning culture is on a team.
But
does that make sense?
But yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And I'm in full agreement though. But I also think at the same time, like, it's not in these guys. Like, I don't care what anyone says about like a shitty team like Buffalo or Detroit or whoever. Like, even in the NFL. These guys play to win. Like, they're athletes.
Exactly.
They're fucking competitive. Like, holy shit, Elijah. Like, you and I, like, we're below average golfers, and we're fucking competitive on the golf course. Like, if you're not competitive and if you don't play to win, you shouldn't be an athlete. Like, if your goal going into training camp is not to win the Stanley Cup or to win the Super Bowl or to win the World Series or whatever it is, you don't belong on that team. You really don't.
Yes.
And I would say that's probably for people to just base that shit on the draft. The other thing that I will say is there is no guarantee that even if we get the number 1 pick, whoever it is, that they're going to pan out. Like, there is no chance. And when you really think about it, like, when you really think about this, like, there are generational talents. And there are 4 players that I would actually say are generational talents in hockey. Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, Sidney Crosby, and Connor McDavid. Those are the 4. And Wayne Gretzky didn't even go number 1, to be fair. He didn't even go number 1. He went 3.
I don't even know. There you go. I never knew that.
Maybe he went first or second. Anyway. He definitely didn't go first, though. I know that for a fact. So there's no such thing as a sure thing.
Yeah, and I've been a big proponent of that. We've had arguments about this in the past about what the better idea is for them to do.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take your point a step farther, Josh, because what we just said, you know, the whole idea about there's no athlete out there that doesn't want to win. You should want to win. All that stuff. I'm going to take this a step further and say, if you're a fan of a team, you should want them to win. Like that's literally just like the plain statement that I believe in.
Think of your team as like a child, though. Wouldn't you want what's best for your child?
Yeah, absolutely.
What if what's best for them is also kind of taking a step back on the season that they're having and just trying to get a better draft pick?
Okay, see that's
so that's what you agree with. Yeah, and I think we're a bit different on this. But what I don't understand is that I think it's kind of like a societal thing too, is that where we're at as like a sports fan group, especially in Vancouver, people aren't even people don't give a fuck if the team wins or loses. They care more about being right. Like it's more like if the Canucks are going to win, I want it to be on my terms. Like I want them to do it the way I wanted it to happen. Like for all the people that are on Team Tank, it's like it's like even during that playoff run last year, it's like they didn't even want to watch the team win. You know, it was like it was a ton of media members too, just saying like this isn't good for the team. Like they're overachieving, and it's like, what the fuck do you mean? Like it makes no sense in my brain, dude. Like it's so puzzled.
Like I think the big thing that I will say is like I'm in agreement with Raph where, you know, if you know you're going to be bad, here's what I will say is I think going into a season, your goal should always be to win. If you're overachieving, then that's good. Like you should be overachieving. You should be trying your best and you should be succeeding. However, what I would say though, and this kind of comes out as like a cop-out or like an excuse, but if you do have a bad season, well, you're like, okay, well, like we don't have the correct pieces to be successful right now. And that's okay. Yeah. And but I think it's like, but how do we build on that to continue being successful? Like as long as you have a plan ahead of like, okay, like where do we want to be in like 5 years? Because I guarantee that's what Jim Benning, Travis Green, and the owners sit down every single year. It's like, where do we want to be this year? What is the success? You know, like when you come into
you set goals for yourself.
Or obviously. Like any team, like Tampa Bay, like if you're the Lightning or if you're any unreal franchise, like if you're like the Lakers, dude, like if you're the Lakers, you're like NBA championship or bust because you're that good. You know, if you're, you know, like the New York Knicks, it's like, okay, well, we're probably going to suck. If we make the playoffs, great. But like, we're probably not going to do well next year. So let's see what we have existed and try and build on that from there. You know?
Yeah. And part of the thing I don't understand is that like I would love to have a team. Wouldn't it be just insane if the Canucks were something like the Patriots or the Spurs or the Lakers in where it was more than just having a good team. Like there was a fucking air about the team that like it was a winning culture. It wasn't just, oh, they drafted well, they had top picks and these super talented guys, and you know, they got to the Cup Finals and they lost, but that was just bad luck. Like, wouldn't it just be something if year in and year out, like this team just had a fucking winning culture about them, and you know, they take the 23rd overall or they take the 27th overall pick, and you draft well using it, like the Spurs do, and you know, you go from there and you build this whole culture. I think people think that it's just some sort of cheat code to, oh, if we get the first overall pick or anything in the top 3, we're good.
It's like an easy way out.
It does not work like that.
No, definitely not. I agree.
Anyways, we've rambled. We have rambled for long enough on that. Boys, before we get to go to votes, I had one pressing question I wanted to ask you about March Madness. We're into the Sweet 16 now.
Go to the bathroom.
What?
Go to the bathroom. You asked.
All right, I'll be back.
We'll talk about March Madness.
So, yeah, dude. Like, obviously, we're in the Sweet 16 now. Fantastic tournament. Like, been endlessly entertaining. Funny enough, one of the more entertaining March Madnesses I've been watching, but like 0 buzzer beaters, tons of upsets, but not like so far. I haven't seen like a dominant player other than maybe Krutwig, our boy Krutwig out there. Like that guy is dynamite. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it's been a pretty, I don't know how to put it, like stoic. No, that's not the right word.
I would say like it's a very, you know what I would say? This is a very COVID tournament. Yes. Very COVID-like. There's upsets, but like in a way, like I'm kind of glad there's no buzzer beaters. I'm kind of glad.
What?
Now, just hear me out for a sec. Like buzzer beaters are sick. Like, don't get me wrong. Like it is a sick phenomenon. Like it's like the game's on the line or the game's tied and you win it for your team and everyone goes fucking crazy. But that's the key in that sentence I just said. Everyone goes crazy. The fans aren't there. They're not there. And it's true. To me, it doesn't seem right for us to have like, you know, an unreal game with no fans in the building. Like that's just kind of the way I see it. It's like don't get me wrong, I love the upsets. Like it's crazy. Like dude, like yesterday USC takes a fucking dump on Kansas. Like what are you talking about?
Yeah, seriously, dude.
Like I get it. Like USC is a 6 and Kansas is a 3, but Jesus Christ, man, like you gotta fucking do better than that. Like that was a blowout. And then you look at like a team like LSU who fucking gave Michigan a run for their money in the first half and went on an 8-0 run to start the second. Like, but when it comes down to like the flair, and this is for any sport that has no fans right now, I shouldn't say I don't want any unreal moments, but I don't want any crazy moments because like the fans aren't there and it's not the same. You know, like the roar of the crowd, like when you're yelling in your basement or when you're yelling in your room and like the fans are on the TV or matching your volume, like, dude, it feels like you're there.
Yeah.
And like with this, it's just like, dude, it's like, it's dead quiet. It's
kind of chemical, dude. It's a chemical thing is what it is. So, okay, I'm going to ask you 2 questions here. Feel free to ramble on if you want. And Raph, you can give your input as well.
Sure.
So, given that March Madness has been fucking crazy this year with a ton of upsets, I think the most recorded upsets of all time so far.
Yeah.
Do you guys believe that this is a symptom of COVID because of just the unpreparedness and the lack of it be what it is? It's not normal. Or do you think this is, what's the word when they use parody? Do you think this is more of a parody thing in NCAA basketball where, you know, the bottom's getting closer to the top kind of thing?
I think that's what it is. Like I feel like those teams who were in like first, second, third seeds, it's like they kind of underestimated all the teams that were in lower seeds, and they just weren't ready for it. It just came out of nowhere. Yeah. Like, and even in a tournament like this, like upsets are just such a larger deal because let's say in like playoff hockey, where it's like you have a 5-game series, if you lose one game, it's not that big of a deal. You've got more that you can play through, right? Whereas in this, it's just like one and done. Whatever happens if you have a shitty game, if your best players have an off day, then it's like that could just ruin the entire game for you, you know?
Yeah.
That's kind of my take on it.
Nice. Josh, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way as Raph. I mean, that's the one thing that makes this tournament so great is like, it's like there's no second chance, you know? It's like, let's bounce back next game. Like, we're in our own barn. Like, no, dude, it's like you need your star players to perform. And I also think at the same time, like I always find the seeding is very interesting because you can have like a decently ranked team that plays in like an easier division. So you're obviously, you know what I mean? Like if you play in like the Big Ten and you go, you know, like 18-4, yet you have a team that goes undefeated and, you know, maybe you guys are put in as like one's a 10 and one's a 6. But the 6th is only because they went undefeated in like a bullshit division. Like it's like your competition is a lot stiffer in the other one. So I think you kind of have to look at that too. I think it's a combination of that, but I also think it's a combination of what Raph said. Like, you know, it's like when the game's on the line, like who's going to be clutch? Like March Madness is I would say one of the most clutch tournaments you have to play in ever.
Yeah. Yeah. It also gives you a lot of recognition if you're an up and comer too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Oh yes. That last point you made there, I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. I got COVID brain. I got noodle brain going on. I forget things immediately. But this idea, the weaker conferences versus, you know, the stronger conferences and what they do and with the selection committee and how they try and, you know, balance these things out. I don't know how much I believe in the weaker conferences anymore, because I think that's almost the theme of the question where, you know, teams like Loyola, Chicago, they might not play in the strongest. Where do they play?
Oh, I don't know.
I fucking wish I knew more about NCAA basketball, like the details of this stuff. But dude, actually, the biggest example we can give is the Pac-12. Like the Pac-12 is not a good conference compared to the Big Ten, compared to the ACC, that kind of thing. The other big conferences. Yeah. But dude, the Pac-12 is like, what are they? Are they 8-0? I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, the Pac-12 is pretty good. I mean, in most years, like you'll see Oregon. You'll see usually USC is in there, UCLA is in there. Arizona is in there. Yeah, and then I'm trying
Colorado,
to think of the other one.
UCLA.
UCLA, yeah.
But Josh, this division it's nothing compared to some of the other divisions out there. It's just not.
No, definitely not. I mean, the Pac-12 is, I find, like kind of the new kids on the block.
Yeah.
Like most people tend to go towards like the ACC or the Big Ten. Like there's powerhouse schools in the US, and like their athletic programs, no matter how good they are, like they are just a desirable school, like the Ohio States, the Alabamas, the Wisconsins, like teams that double dip in both sports are huge. Like if you can be consistently in the top 25 in the country in both football and basketball, you are a desirable program.
100%. Yeah.
And the Big 12 is just not there yet.
You mean the Pac-12 or
Pac-12.
the Big 12?
Sorry, Pac-12.
I think the Big 12 might be. Isn't that a conference too?
Yeah, Big 12. There's the Big 10. I don't even know, dude. There's so fucking many of them.
Like, the Big 12 has like Baylor, Kansas, Texas.
Yeah, there's like, and then
Dude.
but it's interesting though. I mean, like the one thing I always find fascinating about football and basketball is like every year, like when the bowl games roll around for football, there's like so many universities. I'm like, you're in the top 25. Like, who are you? Like, where the fuck is Wake Forest? Like, I don't even know. And then like you look at, like a team like Creighton, like where the fuck is Creighton? Well, I don't know. Well, they're number 6 seed, so like they're obviously somewhat relevant in the country. Like it's just different like that. And I kind of like that. Is like it's like these schools that are literally known for only one sport, whereas I find like bigger schools, like the true big programs, actually have like a struggle, like the Ohio States and the LSUs, and like like they're not the greatest. I think it's more so just like the brand of the school that just makes people watch it.
It's true.
Yeah, Josh, just so you know, Wake Forest is in North Carolina.
Dude, I thought it was in like
Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Wow, wild.
And tucked away there.
Creighton's in California. Damn,
dude,
your boy didn't know that.
Like Creighton would be in like Ohio.
Yeah,
Creighton sounds like a Rust Belt city right there.
Yeah,
sounds like a big time Rust Belt city.
I love it. Okay, can we move on?
Let's move on. We're gonna move into our goats and woats. Okay, this week, guys, we're in goats and woats of guys' first names. So we're getting fucking edgy with this one. I think let's put a couple disclaimers out there really quick. So bada bing, bada boom, disclaimer time. Voila. This isn't hate on anyone. That's the first one. We don't hate. I don't hate anyone because of your name. This is is the word objective when it's like non-biased?
I think that's subjective. Or no, maybe it is objective. I don't know. Raph, you're smarter.
Whatever's the good
I'm
one.
ESL, dude.
What's the Polish version of it? Just tell us that.
I don't fucking know either.
Demographic.
My Polish is so shit right now because I speak English primarily. It's actually bad.
Can you say, "Hey girls, you want some lovin'" in Polish?
I'm not gonna.
Why not?
Because I don't want to.
What if, dude?
Because you can't make me.
Okay, next time we make the Twitch chat or the Twitch title, can you make it in Polish though, so we hit up a different demographic?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's so sick. Okay, so goats. That's the first disclaimer. We're just joking around, all right? So fuck off if you take this seriously. Second one, let's not use our own names, right? Those aren't even available, right?
Scout's honor.
Because we're not just going to go through the first words and be like, "Hey, Josh, yeah." We're not going to do that, right? Okay, cool. We can move on. Awesome. I'm going to go first. First goat, Hank. I'm going Hank is the first goat. I used to hate. Now, okay, bear with me on this explanation.
Shitty first goat.
That's
a really bad one.
Back when I was a wee little lad, I hated King of the Hill. I did not think it was funny whatsoever. And the guy's name is Hank, right?
Hank Hill, yeah.
Hank Hill. Hated the name Hank because of that. However, started to grow up, started to realize that actually, this might just be the only point. Hank is one of the best names. You guys might call me for cheating. It's kind of one of the best shortened names, like Henrik Sedin, how he's called Hank. I fucking love that. I kind of love it as a nickname, but I love it so much as a nickname that I'm willing to take it as a first name.
All right.
I still think it sucks.
Fair enough.
Josh, anything, or are we just gonna like let that die like that, or we're just gonna? Yeah. My first one, Riley.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I really enjoy Riley as a first name.
Oh God.
Really,
Yeah.
dude?
100%.
Raph.
How you spelling that?
Riley.
Oh,
All
thank
right.
I just think it's like a smooth first name for a guy to have. You know what I mean? It just like, in my opinion, the flow of the name is nice. It's casual. It's nothing too insane. Like, it's a good one. It's not over the top.
You know what? If the kid played hockey, you could call him Riles. I like
Yeah,
that.
there you go.
But
If the kid got sent to the principal's office, you could say he just got a little riled up again.
There you go. Josh, what's the worst first name, Riley or Hank?
Hank for sure.
Don't answer that. Don't answer that.
Dude, all I'm saying is like Hank is like a stretch. Like that's a bit of a stretch.
I've got a theme to my picks, okay? Don't worry.
Hank's
right.
a long shot.
Okay. Here's my first one. I think I'm gonna get judged for this, but I think I might actually name my kid this if he's a guy.
Yeah.
Jack. I love that name.
All right, Jack. Not bad, not bad. How are you spelling it?
What the fuck do you mean?
I just wanted to check, dude. Haven't you seen fucking Elon Musk's baby?
Yeah,
What
true.
his name is? Yeah.
Jack.
Is it because you like the Titanic?
No.
Okay.
No.
because you love the Jack Daniels?
No, but that'd be pretty sick. No, honestly, I don't know. I just like Jack. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, plain and simple.
Jack. Yeah.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
say this: when my girlfriend and I have talked about baby names before, we've talked about like a letter theme where we have like kids with all the same letters, but not to the point where we're like 19 kids and counting, they're all J's. We're thinking like 2 or 3.
Are you
Okay.
thinking like are you gonna do like all H names here for your goats? Is that what you're just prefacing?
No, I would not. Imagine how mad she would be if every name that we had chosen, like personally in our own conversations, I put it on goats and woats. Imagine how much shit I would get in for that.
All,
100%.
all the goats are Elijah's names that he likes, and all the woats are the ones that Megan likes.
That would be sick, dude. What if all the chat agrees to like, yeah, those are shitty woats, dude.
Yeah, I love it.
We're shitty goats as we're going right now.
Hey.
All right, what's your second one?
Oh, I'm up again?
Yeah.
Okay, second one here. Dion. I like me some Dion. I like Dion. I could point to many different times. There was a character in Dynasty Warriors. His name was Dion. He was buff as fuck.
How are you
like
spelling
him.
Dion?
Dion. Double
Not
Dion.
D-E-O-N?
You like Dion
No.
enough?
Like Dion Phaneuf, baby. Hopefully, if I ever have a kid named Dion, they look a bit different than Dion Phaneuf. But
Dude, why can't you spell it like Deion Sanders? Deion. That's
I feel like that's a little bit of culture appropriation, don't you think, there, Josh?
Okay.
Just kidding. Yeah, no, I think Dion.
Elijah,
don't
if these
hate
are your goats, I can't wait to see your woes.
Dude, I just realized this. I wasn't a football fan in high school, and I knew a kid named Dion, and his name was spelled like Deion Sanders. That never clued into me.
Dude,
That's pretty sick.
if you name your kid Dion and you spell like that, like you have the permission to call him Prime Time. Like,
And just Prime. I think he just goes by Prime now, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's just
Yeah.
Prime.
yeah, exactly.
That's
Okay,
sick.
raffle.
I like Tom/Thomas.
Mm,
I like that for a first name.
okay.
Riley
That's
and Tom.
Yeah,
so far
Riley
you
and
got-
Tom.
I don't know if Hank's looking so bad when you got Riley. What's next, Bob?
No, my last one's actually pretty sick. I like my last one a lot. What the fuck are you talking about? You're talking shit. You dropped Hank and Dion. You're like two opposite
Hank-
sides of the spectrum
Hank
here, dude.
and
You don't
Dion
fucking
is
know.
pretty fucking sick, dude. Okay.
Yeah. You're gonna fucking throw a third curveball. You're gonna throw a female name in there too. One of those unisex names.
Oh, dude, I was gonna say this when you said the Riley thing. I wish there was like a website or just a Google search that you could do where you could just type in like a name and say, is this more girl or more guy? And like not tell you like it would tell you like
of the world.
yeah, it would tell you like statistically like which is more.
Mm.
That'd be sick.
You could probably do it. I think it's definitely a thing.
Yeah, it just didn't come up like immediately in my Google search, so I gave up.
All right. Okay. My next one is Patrick. I love that name.
I actually have nothing wrong with Patrick. I'll let that one go.
Dude, Patrick's sick. Like you call him Patty. Like I work with a guy, I call him Patty Whack, which I think is hilarious. But yeah.
Jesus.
but like you can call him Pat. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just like a nice, like it's a nice kid name.
Nice suburban white name.
Are you throwing the C? Are you throwing the CK on the end of it or just the K?
CK, 100%.
CK for sure.
Yeah.
CK kind of guy.
CK, yeah.
Any chance you nickname him Trick instead of Pat?
No, no way in hell.
If he was a hockey player and all he did was get 3 goals a night, easily his name is
Hattie Patty.
Okay, I'm gonna address Razor in the chat right now. Obadiah is a goat name.
Obadiah. Dude, Obadiah is that possessed kid that kills your fucking family from like Children of the Corn.
Oh my god. Really? How do you know that?
I watched the movie. I'm pretty sure it's not Obadiah. I'm pretty sure it's Josiah. But regardless, I don't like it. Although the cool thing about Obadiah is you could probably just call him Ob or Obi for short, which is kind of cool.
Boys, I can't believe we haven't done this before. And this might be a little bit repetitive after a while, but we need to do the goats and woats of the Duggars names only. Like just those. You don't know who that is? It's the 19 kids and counting. They have like 19 kids and they're all the letter J.
That's sick.
Yeah, that's pretty sick, right? So we can power rank those one day, maybe.
I'm down.
Okay.
All right.
Who's up next?
Last one.
Me again. Okay. What am I going to go with here? You know what? I'm fucking doing it. I'm going Wayne. Wayne. Wayne is such a goat name. If you can't.
Wayne.
Wait, sorry.
Who's the goat of hockey?
Hank.
Wayne.
And Wayne.
Hank. Wait, sorry. What was the middle one?
Hank, Dion, and Wayne. I'm building myself quite a fucking hockey team here, guys. I'll tell you that much. I
hate you.
I thought, okay, Wayne Gretzky, pretty basic pick. And then I thought Wayne's World, okay, pretty badass pick. And then I kind of stopped there. But like Bruce Wayne, pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's probably the best one out of all 3 of those. But Wayne.
I like Wayne.
What's next? Craig?
See, the thing about Wayne is I feel like you never meet a boring Wayne. Like they might not always be cool. They might actually be like kind of fucking annoying sometimes, but it's something. Like you're never going to meet a boring Wayne, in my opinion.
All right. That's fair. Okay. Raffle.
I really enjoy this name. Jody for a guy.
I'm sorry, what?
Jody for a guy, I think is a sick name. Reason being is because I grew up having this one favorite pro snowboarder. His name was Jody Wachniak, and the guy was fucking sick.
Was he Polish?
No, he's from, I don't remember what his background is. He's from Saskatchewan, but the guy's fucking so rad. And I was like, that is just such a sick first name for a guy to have.
Really?
Because it's one of those names where it's like, when you think about it, it's primarily a female name, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, boom.
It's more than that. It's primarily like an older, like born in the 60s female name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 60s, 70s. You're not wrong.
I would say Jody is a bit of a tough one, but I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
I'm taking it over Wayne.
Yeah.
Wayne.
Okay, my last one, and this is kind of like one that I think is like, if I ever became like famous and like I got to name like my kids something like cool, Angus. It's a sick name.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Josh, that's probably your worst one so far.
Dude.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I didn't sign a non-disclosure when I worked at the summer camp, so I'm all good to say this. But I used to volunteer at a summer camp, and now anyone that's ever worked with kids, you fucking know this is a very there's a spectrum of how good and enjoyable it can be to work with kids, and how it can literally feel like the depths of hell. And this kid named Angus, I actually think his name was Brandon, but he was such a pest that I think we just called him Angus. And like,
because he sucked.
Because he sucked. Like he was the worst. He must have been possessed. Like I think I'm fully on board with the devil had this child because he was no fun to be around.
All right, I don't like all this possession talk we're having today.
Oh.
That's bad
Dude,
vibes.
you're gonna turn the podcast off and play a horror game.
Yeah, I was doing that before this.
Any honorable mentions?
Matthew.
Orlando. Come on, dude. Orlando Bloom, you don't get lost in those eyes?
No.
And then I also had Chad. I kind of like Chad. Chad Kruger. Look at this photograph. Come on.
Look at this graph.
Has anyone ever edited that and just done look at this RAF?
No, we're not doing that.
Yeah,
I
we
might
are.
have to.
No
I
way
might
in
have
fucking
to
hell
one
we're doing that.
day. All
Okay.
right, who's up?
Quotes.
Oh,
You.
me again. Fuck. Okay, boys. First vote. Cody. Fucking hate Cody. I hate
All
it
right.
mostly because you guys keep saying I look like Cody from Sister Wives.
Well,
And
cut
I'm
your
pretty
fucking
sure-
hair.
I'm pretty sure he spells his name with a K.
That's
Cody
bad.
with a K, C or Kody.
Yeah, he was born to be a polygamist at that point.
Oh,
That's
Jesus
the only
Christ.
that's the only way that path was going.
Okay, my first one, Connor. I hate the name Connor so fucking much.
Shout out C-Mac. What's up, buddy?
Actually, I never thought about Connor. I never thought about him.
Yeah.
He's dope. But besides him,
dope.
I don't think I've ever met a Connor that I've genuinely liked that hasn't fucking pissed me off beyond all.
I feel like I've met a lot
Reason.
of cool Connors, so I actually like the name.
No, I fucking hate the name.
Okay.
What's I gonna say? Fuck.
Josh.
What do you think about the idea if we just go around to people after we post this episode and be like, dude, we did goats and woats of first names and your name came up in the woats, and we'll just like lie to everyone, but then they'll listen to the episode? Because that would instantly get someone to listen. They'd be like, what the fuck?
What do these guys have to say? You're not wrong.
Yeah.
It's all
Good
mental
marketing
game.
idea.
Yeah.
Okay. My first one. Shout out my grandpa, but Keith.
Oh, you threw
I actually
grandpa
don't
under
mind
there?
Keith. Keith is sick.
Damn.
I just like, it's just like, I don't know. I can't deal with it. It just,
You don't like big. Okay, I don't get how Keith Kachuk ended up with the nickname Walt. I don't get where that comes from.
Big Walt. Let's not forget about that.
Yeah, big Walt, dude. How does that happen?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
He has a striking resemblance to Walter White.
Could be. Could very well be.
But
Holy
yeah.
Jesus.
E.
Sounds like fucking Mike Tyson trying to say keys or something. Keith.
just
That's my
Keith.
Keith. Keith. Did you see that video I sent you guys of the fucking French guy trying to pronounce English words?
No.
Yeah,
Oh my god. Okay, after
When did
we're
you
done
send
this
this?
call, you guys, it's in the Instagram.
I
chat.
watched it. I watched
It
it.
is.
Hold on, I have to go find this shit now.
What is there? I forget which word he tries to pronounce, dude. It's like combobulated or something like that, like discombobulated. He just don't go blah 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 like that. He fucks it. It's hilarious. You'll watch it, you'll love it.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, next up, Nathan.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have actually met a couple Nathans that I was friends with, but Nathans. Main reason why One Tree Hill's antagonist, season 1, Nathan Scott,
Tree Hill.
try and fuck with Haley Scott again, or Haley, whatever her name was before she married your ass in that show. Step off, dude.
The one thing I learned about Elijah through our entire friendship is that you have a very sensitive spot for One Tree Hill.
I'm a big One Tree Hill stan, dude.
I don't think I've ever seen you watching One Tree Hill, but I know you're a huge fan of One Tree Hill.
Ask me what my first love was, Brooke Davis. Ask me what my second love was, Peyton Sawyer. Third love, Haley Scott. Where you want to go next?
Far away from this conversation.
Fourth
All right.
one,
There
Lucas
was the
Scott.
Hills.
What?
The Hills?
Yeah, Beverly Hills. The
No.
90210.
No.
Never watched
No.
90210. Lauren Conrad's pretty hot, but anyway. We get
No.
I'm just gonna continue this. Lyle. I don't like the name Lyle. I know cool Lyles, which is really unfortunate. It's tough.
Yeah, that's a tough look for anyone named Lyle at that point.
Yeah, sorry guys. That's
I really
Like-
hope we hit someone in this chat with their own name. Like, that's going to be tough right there. You know?
Oh, just quickly looking at the chat. Where's Bailey?
Okay.
Oh, dude, you got him with Daniel at that point.
Oh yeah.
My next one, Jonah. I fucking hate that.
Oh,
Where does Josiah rank next to Jonah?
Josiah.
I love Josiah.
I
That's
just
a
I
good
don't.
name.
You just
I don't
like it because it's a
that.
biblical name.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't like it because
Are
it's
you-
biblical.
Are you discriminating against me because of the Bible?
Because of our Lord and Savior.
It's too biblical for my liking. Josiah.
Yeah.
But
That's fair.
hey, you know what? To each their own, man.
Yeah. Fucking Satan
Wasn't
worshiper.
Jonah the name of one of the characters from the VeggieTales?
Yeah. It was like the
Not
cucumber.
the pickle? Yeah, the cucumber. That's who it was.
No, that was Larry.
Okay, who gives a shit? Oh, I think
It was Larry and Bob. How did you guys fuck that up? Jonah was like a character. Jonah's a character in the Bible, which the asparagus played at one point. I think.
Fun fact about Elijah, also a huge VeggieTales fan growing
Yo,
up.
fun fact about me, I used to be able to sing every single silly song that was on VeggieTales. I knew all of them.
I think you still
Word for
can.
word. Yeah. Pizza Angel, please come to me. Damn. That one slaps, dude. I might throw VeggieTales on the Spotify playlist after this. Okay, I'm next
Right.
up here.
Yeah, last one.
Last one. What do we go with? Do we keep it on the no, we're gonna go. We're going with Brody. Brodies are most commonly referred to as douchebags. And,
Surfer Brody?
Yep. And I would say less about the Chad and Brads, more about the Chad and Brodies.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
I can't agree.
I'm not really a Brody guy, like at all.
I'm not going to wait to shout out this comment, but comment from Razor in the Twitch chat. Dudley is a woke name. That's actually 100% true. Dudley is I think what we did during this is there are some obvious names out there that are so bad that we didn't even consider because it's they're obvious. Dudley is.
Yeah.
I didn't even pick it. It's in there.
Dudley.
What about the Dudley Bros?
What the fuck?
Dude,
I don't know. They used to do something with their hands. I forget what it was.
I'm not like a mean guy, but if I ever met a Dudley, that guy's getting a wedgie. He's getting a full-on wedgie.
But if it's like a little 6-year-old kid, you just walk up to him and give him a wedgie?
He's getting hung by a flagpole.
You are a bully, good sir.
Yeah, anyway.
My last one, Maurice.
Maurice, dude. We used to work with a Maurice. That's a low blow.
I know.
man.
And Maurice, again, dope guy, super sick.
Great guy. Yeah.
But the name, Maurice.
Tough luck.
Yeah, I was like, I just can't do that. Like,
We
fucking,
never once called him Rocket, hey?
no,
Never tried that? Fuck.
no, we fucked up.
The rocket.
Missed opportunity. Now that we think about it.
Okay, my last one is William. Hate it.
Why?
Wow.
Dude, William is just like a dork's name.
You can call him Bill, though.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, right?
But no, I can't do William. I cannot do it. It's just, yeah, and you know what? Like Will, I don't mind. Like if he's like, yeah, my name's William, but I go by Will. Sure, that's cool. I don't mind that. But like if you're like, I go by William, I'm like, you're a fucking loser. So anyway.
Wow, that was passionate.
Yeah, that was tough. All right,
Okay.
so
Honorable mentions.
newsflash. Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
Newsflash.
honorable mentions quickly
Yeah, I had Sydney.
for a
For
guy.
a worse name?
Well, I don't
That's tough.
think it's a girl's name, but anyway.
Sidney
Blake.
Crosby.
Blake
Blake.
You don't like Blake's?
Hate the name Blake.
Blake.
What about
Blake.
Blake of the Year, dude?
Blake, Chad, and Jaden were my other three.
Jaden.
Yeah, I don't like the name Jaden either.
My two were Bryce and Landon.
Landon. Landon's actually a sick name. I'd put that in my
Bryce.
goats for sure.
Bryce is up there. Bryce is up there in
Bryce?
the votes for sure.
Bryce
Like,
better
remember
or worse
that
than Bryson?
I knew both, and Bryson was an asshole.
I feel like we all have some kind of like past trauma that's contributed to our votes.
Easily.
And it's just influenced our decisions that much more.
All right.
Elijah, you okay up there?
Yeah, I'm just fading fast.
Okay. Let's wrap.
What? Let's wrap. Yeah. So next week, Goats and Woats Tuesday. We're doing Goats and Woats of female names. Now that one, I'm like, we might not live stream that one, or we will, and we'll just have black screens. Like I don't want anyone knowing what I look like. I'm too terrified to put that on the record, but that'll be a banger.
We might get our first hate mail.
We might, yeah.
I'm excited.
Direct it.
I can't
Customer
wait.
relations, customer relations, and recruiting.
I was gonna say something really bad, but I'll tell you guys after we're done this live stream.
I can't wait.
I'm ready. I'm ready to rock, dude.
All right.
All right.
Let's
Bye,
wrap
everybody.
up.
All right. Adios.